Welcome back again to the Chasing Tone podcast. Today we have, again, Travis, Max, and I all for a reunion podcast. Again, second time. Last week we had the first part. Today is the second part. And just in case you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, Travis and Max were the original co-hosts of the Chasing Tone podcast. So if you go to the very first beginning, I think the first 70 or so, it's Travis and Max and I. So let's jump right into it right now. All right, so today, Travis and Max are back again. Right?
Same clothes as last week. Same beer, too.
Maybe you got the same beer.
Well, last quote-unquote week, I said you guys want to stay around to do another one. So
you did.
It shouldn't be a surprise. Hey, remember that time we did like 8 podcasts right before Christmas, so we didn't have to do any for like 2 months?
Did we?
We did.
A bunch.
Yeah. That was back in the old...
was I still here?
Second
Yeah,
building,
it was when we had the Christmas tree up in my old office.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
couches.
And everybody kept saying, why do you guys still have your Christmas tree?
Why
The
is
same
your Christmas
reason
tree
we're
up
so closed.
in February? I'm
Actually,
well,
we all brought different clothes, I think. Like different shirts, because we kept changing shirts.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know.
I can't remember.
I remember changing shirts. I just don't know if it was for those. We surely did.
That's funny,
I
though.
think so. I forgot all about that.
I got a question. Mm-hmm. Why do people announce that they're going to like clean their Facebook friends list? Why do you care?
Attention.
Oh, my God.
Like really, like who? I guess
It's the same thing
I
as
mean, 'cause
people...
if it's your feed, you just hide them. You know, like what? Why do you care? I really
that
don't get
seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, like you're wanting to see like who responds, right? So then you can compare that list with the people on your friends list. I mean, like,
I wish I had that much time.
oh my God, I can't imagine.
I don't care now.
Another one, too, is like, I'm deactivating my Facebook for a while.
Thanks
24 hours later. It's been a long day.
And it's always that one chick from high school that thinks Olive Garden's fancy.
And saran wrap makes you skinny.
Wait. So Olive Garden is not fancy.
Not so
They
much.
treat you like family.
So
man.
every time I tell my wife that let's go out somewhere nice, and we go
Well,
to Olive Garden.
no, that's acceptable because it's nicer than Wendy's.
Or
That's
steak-
wait.
or
Wendy's
steak
is
and
bad.
shake.
Huh?
Wendy's is bad.
No, I never said it was bad. I said Olive Garden's a step up.
A step up from Steak and Shake, right? Max?
It's a step below Outback, though. That's for somebody
They got the
real nice.
Wallaby Darned. Have you ever drank one of those?
I have.
Wallaby darn.
It's dangerous. It's like a peach alcoholic beverage.
That's a mixed drink then.
yeah.
Wait. Peach alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
They call that a wine cooler, bro.
All I know is my wife gets them and I wind up finishing them.
Yes.
Does it come with pantyhose? Or
A
what?
swirly pink straw
Right.
with a flower.
You have to wear heels to get that special, or
I don't, but she
I'm a
does.
real boy.
oh my gosh,
By the way, how do you say? I feel so bad. I can't pronounce people's last names.
I'm horrible at it.
Spell it.
Neau.
In it new. Right?
No. Is that no?
Email me at Brian at Wampler Pedal.
Jeffrey knew,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's great.
yeah.
But sorry, man, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. But he asked me, he goes, "Did you see the end of that game?" And I said, "I did, but I can almost guarantee Max and Brian did."
Oh, yeah,
you
I
guys
did
don't
not.
like
I
sport.
think, what game is he even talking about?
Oh my god, they don't like sports ball matches. But no, I
foosball.
watched every bit of that
It's
game.
like the Super Bowl or something?
Well, it's NFL. You're close. NFL playoffs. It was like one
So
of the
wait,
most.
the playoffs is the Super Bowl.
No, the playoff is a
Pre-Super
championship
Bowl.
game that happens after the playoffs. The playoffs lead up to the Super Bowl.
That's like having 2 Super Bowls.
Not really.
It's like, all right, these are the finalists.
Hey, have we
Who
gone?
are the finalists?
Have we gone over the way to end any argument?
Have we
Yes.
what?
Have we gone over how to end any argument?
No.
The 3 things you say in succession. One is not really. So say anything. So like that's like having 2 playoff or 2 Super Bowls. Not really. And then no matter what you say after that,
Yes, it is.
how would you know?
Because it's my opinion.
Exactly. Not really. Not really. How would you know? Exactly. Shuts them down. Because even if you're wrong, either they're going to question their life a little bit, or they're going to be like, this guy's an idiot and not worth my time. Therefore, you win.
I'm going to go over the ladder.
Yeah.
You just told me to drink pizza drinks at Outback.
Not really.
Why wouldn't it be?
How would you know?
Exactly.
Shut him down.
Yeah.
Shut him down.
Told me.
So what do you do when someone says that doesn't make sense?
Exactly.
So that's your final ender.
Or just say not really.
Exactly.
Yeah, or just go back to not really. But you gotta sell it. You gotta almost be
The
disgusted.
turtle.
You almost gotta be disgusted. Not really.
Where did you come up with that from?
Just constant arguing.
Talking to
that,
himself.
or
So you're sitting on the toilet thinking,
no,
what
it
is
happens
that
at work.
always-
It happens at work mostly. And then like if you ever want to just go along with something, I may have told you this one, just say, that's right. That's right. So if anything you're saying, so if you can change JRC 48, that's right. That's right. But if you change, I socketed this op amp so you could change it. That's right.
Or to show that your interest. Really?
Really?
That's awesome. Really?
Yeah.
I use really all the time on the phone.
Yeah, if you're a
That's
millennial, you say
absolutely
awesome.
fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
But I just like saying, that's right. Especially if you're talking to anybody Southern. That's right.
Right.
Or, how your mama them? How you doing? If you call somebody Southern, you say, how you doing?
So
And then no matter what they say after how you doing, you say, how your mama them?
everyone that's listening to this in another country is like, what?
Southern what?
Although one time,
Southern where?
one time my boss, Ed, so my boss, Ed, I got to tell you this.
His boss's name is Ed.
Yeah, okay, so he's the king of putting his foot in his mouth. Okay, one of them, and he is Southern. He's a Southern guy. He's from South Carolina, and that's where I got the how you doing? How you mom and them? So anyway, our cleaning lady comes into the office. He's like, how you mom and them?
Ed says this.
Ed says this, how you mom and them? And the cleaning lady goes, my mama passed last week.
Oh,
So I
man.
immediately start recording because it's just like I start recording the video. Oh my god!
Train wreck.
So then, not even 3 weeks later, she comes in again and goes, "Did you have a good Christmas?" She goes, I'm a Jehovah's Witness."
Oh, she could be my spirit animal. That's awesome.
Oh, and she still cleans her office. She's the sweetest lady ever. But that's not the best one. I'll tell you. I don't know if I can tell you the best one on camera. But now I got to tell you because you can always cut it out.
You always just beep out the whole.
Okay, so now in his defense, this person calling him was on a terrible cell phone reception.
Oh, I know this story.
So he's calling, and they haven't, and it's a friend that
And
he
this
has-
is your boss, Ed.
Yeah, my boss said,
Okay.
and he's talking to this person, and he hasn't spoken to them in probably 10 years, maybe. I mean, long time, but they're friends. They've been in the industry, same business forever, and he's saying, so how's your family? How's the wife? And like I said, it's a terrible cell phone reception. So you hear, well, and she left us, and and it's been hard, and he goes, glad I never met the bitch, to have his buddy's back. And then he goes, yeah. She got diagnosed in October, and in September she was gone. Or September and October she was gone.
Terrible.
And I was like, oh my God. Oh, true story. Like, that sounds like it's out of a movie. That really happened.
I'm kind of in impasse what to say here.
Oh my God. And I'll leave it at this. One of these days, I'm going to start a Twitter account called My Boss Says.
Right.
I will let you read some of these quotes. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, my favorite one is,
No, you gotta say.
no, I can't. No, because he'll get mad at me. I'll tell you later.
Ed doesn't listen to the podcast.
well, yeah, he does.
He does, really?
He loves them. Okay, here's
know
one
that.
that's not bad. We saw a guy. Okay, he used to be a detective. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So like he can read people, and it's amazing to watch. But we saw this one guy that just looked I made this term up, methodestrian. But he was a methodestrian, and he looked at me, he just looked at me, he goes, somebody better check out MFer's closet for teenagers. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry, Ed. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's funny. Okay.
We haven't talked about gear for the first 15 minutes of the podcast.
Well, who knows how many of this will be? This will probably be all cut out.
This would be the one that I'm like, guys, that podcast spiked right on that.
Yeah.
We need to talk about gear.
And Ed's going to be like, "You're fired." Brian, are you hiring?
Welcome back, Travis Feaster.
Welcome back to Chasing Toad.
I always tell people this is kind of like Joe Rogan. If Joe Rogan sucked really bad and talked about guitar gear, it's kind of like that because we don't really talk much about.
What did you
So
say?
he became Seth Rogen?
Oh, Seth Rogen. Nice.
I actually do like Seth Rogen.
No, because do you guys listen to podcasts?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really? Mm-hmm. You listen to gear podcasts?
Not gear
not gear
podcast.
Okay, so that's my point exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I
Well,
listen to
ship
bits
sailed.
and pieces just to keep up and stuff, but for me to drive down the road, listen to a gear podcast, ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Nope, not doing it.
No offense to most of the gear podcasts. I
Yeah.
just listen to them.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure they're great.
yeah, I'm sure they're great, but I listen to a couple of them like, I know more than you. And just turned it off. You know, it's like,
And I'm more humble than you are.
oh, not even close.
I'm gonna pass out.
Told Ron Swanson, I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. No, I did this like 10 years before he's ever thought about it.
Are you sweating?
A little bit. Brian's clamming up. Is like, nope, that's not going on. We're cutting that crap out.
No,
right now.
that's staying because I could totally see you doing that, driving the car like, nope, you're wrong.
Yeah, well,
Nope.
it's like, and it's not mean. Well, it's kind of mean.
It's totally mean,
It's like
but it's
driving,
okay.
but it's just matter of factly. It's like, next.
I'll tell you what, though, man. The one thing I do love about doing this podcast now is number one, it's way looser.
Yeah.
Obviously, and
Yeah.
number two, I can't be fired for remarks that I make.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You can actually speak your feelings down.
I'm talking now, so you guys see this.
because I can't get sued for whatever you're
Right,
saying.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. I fired him already.
Because Chasing Tone is not a Wampler podcast. It's
That's
its
right.
own thing. So.
so I could dog companies? I'm not going to,
You
but there
got-
is one company.
it's your
that,
opinion.
They're
Well, in that
crook.
case, I prepared a list.
Remind me to talk to you about this off camera, though. There's one company that's just, they're just taking advantage of people, and it pisses me off.
Why don't you like Earthquaker?
I love Earthquake.
I'm
I do.
just teasing.
Huh?
I know you did.
He goes, "Is it Wampler?" No, but there's a guitar company that's just totally taking advantage of people. It's just driving me crazy.
There's a bunch of that I keep seeing on the
basically,
Facebook.
they're making $5,000 offset guitars. You can buy a real '66 Jazzmaster for $5,000. These people are buying brand new ones, saying, "Well, they fixed everything about Jazzmasters."
Bet you guys can't guess which one it is.
There's a ton of them.
See, I don't follow stuff like that. I just don't. I mean, I am totally like tunnel vision. Like for years past, I was always seeing like, what's this guy doing? What are they doing? How are
Right.
they doing that? Now I'm just like, well, here's what I'm doing, and F everyone
It's the
else.
Gary Vee thing, man.
Yeah, I mean,
The Gary Vee thing is, to me anyways, I don't listen to him near as much as you, but the one thing I always took away from that guy is it's bullcrap to try to make yourself better at the things you're not good at. Have tunnel vision on that one thing that sets you apart and you're badass at,
Right.
and just kill that.
Right. So that's
Just
what.
kill it.
So that's what I figure I do. You know.
Am I wrong? Only got to
Kill.
say F words in it
Yeah,
if you're
you gotta
Gary
be.
Vee.
Well, you guys are about the same height. I said be shorter, but
Is he short?
I
Is he
can
short?
beep the F words out,
Is
but
he
yeah,
short?
he's a little bit bigger than me. He's about maybe half an inch taller than me,
Okay.
and
Just a
maybe
little.
10, 15 pounds more
Okay.
muscular.
See, he's not short.
So.
I'm short.
it's true.
I don't think I told you. So did I tell you that I met Gary Vee?
I
right?
do. That's why I asked. Yeah.
Okay, so and I
You
went
met
out
not only you met him, but you met with him at
him.
his office.
because telling our story about, and I haven't told anyone this, so this is new. I was telling our story about the pedal company. He said, "I'm writing a book. I'd like to put your story in a book."
He said that to you? Or
So,
Nice.
so he's coming out with the book in 2 weeks, and a chapter of it is about Wampler pedals,
Oh, nice.
about how we market it and everything.
No, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's
so-
huge.
craziness. I don't know what. I mean, I'm sure like everybody reads those books. I'm sure they're not like pedal guys like us. I mean, so
I know more than
Well,
him.
no, I mean, I know more than him.
but I mean, it's still cool. It's still cool for like an outside company to say, "Wow, you guys did things totally different than what everyone else was doing,
Right.
And it worked for you,
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So
No,
I don't
that's
know.
awesome. There's another guy I'll talk about
You
about
can't-
later.
You
but-
can't keep saying, "Oh, a great
well,
story."
no, this is boring.
But
No,
this is
it's not a
Rapid
story. It's
Podcast.
boring. But that Grant Cardone, do you know him at all?
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I've been following him lately. But that's boring to whatever. You know.
Oh, it's fascinating.
The thing I like about him is he gives a crap about guys like Max. You know, millennials.
I'm barely.
I don't think you are a millennial
I'm
anymore.
flipping millennial.
You've grown past that. You're
yeah.
you're hitting 30.
Well, no, it's whenever
right?
the age in which you were born.
And yeah, the era in which you're born. I think it starts up at like early '85. I was born in '86. Don't identify with millennials. Travis knows it because it's my trigger word, which is technically a millennial concept. Yeah,
Millennial.
yeah. Says the guy drinking Pete's drinks at Outback. So
Says the guy that I had to pick up at Walmart and bring out here.
yeah, because my hybrids.
Because my hybrid.
Yeah, it's true. No,
But
I'm
he's
sorry,
not
my
a-
hybrid wouldn't make it up your hill, Brian.
I'm not a
my
millennial.
hybrid's terrible. So. That's it. I'm gonna get
Well, see-
complex and I'm buy the biggest truck I can.
See, the problem was I was
That's
getting
what
my
I
vegan
did.
food.
I bought a huge truck.
It's true.
What'd you say?
That's the problem is I was eating my vegan meal, and
Oh, whoa. You've known me for a long time. I would never say those words together.
I got a question for vegans. If we're not supposed to eat animals, why are they made of food?
Why are they so tasty?
well, I mean, if you think about it, eating animals isn't bad because animals eat vegetarian stuff for the most part. Not all of them, but cows, for example, you know, pigs eat whatever pigs eat. So like,
Grains and
they're
such?
vegetarians. So by us eating them,
Just degrees of separation.
right? Yeah, we're basically all vegetarians.
I'm pretty
when you
much a
boil it down.
vegan.
Yeah.
I eat potatoes in my steak. It's pretty much the same thing, right?
Yes, sir.
I eat vegan. It's
Exactly.
called cannibalism, though, and they frown upon that society.
This got dark.
It's got dark.
This got
It's
dark.
got weird. Max is drunk.
Next thing you know,
Easy, Dahmer. Next.
Hey, you need lampshades? Wow, let's get that segment out.
Let's go to our Facebook. If you had to go direct, what gear would you use? Hey, that's pretty good. If you had to go direct, who said that?
I'd go directly to the amp with the cable.
Hanu Bach?
I saw the question, but I don't.
God, I'm terrible with names, man.
You
I
are, man.
Well, no, because it's disrespectful to mispronounce somebody's name. Well, if you
Dude,
do it
how
on
many
purpose,
times? Yeah,
If you do it on purpose,
it doesn't
but-
bother me at all as many times as everyone says Wampler.
but- Yeah.
Wampler.
Well, that's your own damn fault. I was with you at LJ at
That's your fault for
LJS.
your last name.
Yeah.
we were at LJS one time and somebody called and you thought it was just a prank call and you go, actually it's a Wampler. He's like, Mr. Wampler, this is Wampler, and that was somebody pedal
It was a
related.
customer. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's.
You're like, oh crap, he's gonna spread that.
totally-
I
that's-
called him and he said Wampler. But no, if you had to go direct, I'll make this real quick, and then you actually even liked it. What do you call it? Band axle,
Oh, back sandal.
back sandal.
Bamboozled.
Back sandal. But anyways, there's this thing. When I was touring in England, I stopped by this company, believe it or not, they're called JHS.
Yeah, there's another JHS in England. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And John Hornsby's
Skews?
Yes.
Was it? Yeah.
And I used to know a guy
yeah.
named Gavin Colson that used to work there. And he was nice enough whenever I'd come over there to help me out with gear and stuff whenever I tour. And he hooked me up with this guitar by a company called Fret King. It was a great guitar. And then he gave me this little thing that was called a Little Smasher by Diago. And it was...
Yeah, the little amp thing.
Yeah, and it's a 5-watt amp the size of a pedal that you could put on your board. And I still have it. I still use it. I mean, it's 9 volts. It runs off 9 volts. But it's an amp. It goes out to your speaker cab and then everything else into it. And that's my backup.
That's your backup.
That's my backup.
But you-
So if I had to go direct,
Right.
that's what I go into. And it's pretty inexpensive.
You would, in this day and age, that would be your go-to. Like so let's say,
If my amp quit and I was through a
no, I get that. So I'm saying, let's say you're going to a gig that you know you can't have a mic. What do you do?
Oh, I just pray.
Max.
Not
Yeah,
touching that
Max, let me use your amp. Well, I
No.
played the gig too.
one. No, I mean like
I blew it up.
If you knew
New
you
amp.
had to go direct in somehow.
Our sound guy is this guy Victor.
Yeah,
and
Victor's
he's got
awesome.
so much gear that I could basically just hand him a cable, and just say, "Hey, here you go." So I mean, we're pretty lucky in that, but I mean, we pay for it too.
Yeah.
It's not like it's this huge luxury that we just have sound guys. No,
So
he
would
makes
you
more
want
money than
you'd
us.
want him to
Three
use an
times more
EQ
money
to do
than
it then?
Say what?
You'd want him to use like an EQ of some sort? Like
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Like if he had the direct in,
right.
yeah, because I
Because-
don't have a cab sim or anything like that. I guess I would just. I have done that before through a. Do you remember these Mackie 808s, the powered heads, the powered mixers?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I still have one. We still use it. And there was a time I had to go into the high Z input of that.
Just turn the highs down.
Yeah, exactly. Turn
Yeah.
the highs down, kills a lot of the mids,
Right.
and then boost the lows.
Right.
And then just crank it, and then
Make it work.
just make it work with your pedals. So I guess that's what I would do in a very emergent situation.
Yeah.
Just go straight into the
See,
board.
I'm surprised that you guys haven't really messed with impulse responses because
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll admit. Okay, so I stopped working for you in 15, maybe.
is it that long ago?
Well, I see. I'll be gone 2 years in February.
No,
And you quit about a year before.
has
that.
it been that long? It's been
Was it
2
15
years.
or
2 years
16?
in February.
And
So that'd be 16 for me.
So 15 probably for
15
me.
for you.
Yeah, so you got to admit, since 15, impulse responses,
Yeah, it's a totally different game.
it's totally different. So I be honest with you, I am ignorant. I would love to sit around and pick your brain about
Oh, man.
Because I hear, like, my favorite guitar player in the world right now is Sean Tubbs.
Yeah,
That guy.
Sean's fantastic.
I'm not saying he's the best because that's a huge discussion open to debate, but I will say there's no one better. There's no one doing.
He's at the top of his game for sure.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that guy is. I got a funny story about him too, but he's a funny guy. I used to send him messages and messages. I mean, just annoy the. Shit
Did
out
you
of him.
really?
Oh yeah, because I wanted guitar lessons.
He's a super nice guy.
Oh, and he would always answer.
Yeah.
But he's funny because he was talking. He's like, man, I think I might do this like guitar consultant or coach thing more than lessons. And I said, well, if you ever need a guinea pig, let me go or let me know. He goes, do you raise them? and I know he was just being funny, but I was like, how do I rip?
Do you want to get a pick? Because I could.
Yeah, it's like, if you want one, Sean, if it means guitar lessons, I will find you a guinea pig with nail polish.
No, I mean, like for me, like if I was in your guys' situation, I would have my amp. I'd probably like again captor right behind Max.
Can I back you up real
Sure.
quick? Pretend
Right.
that I know nothing about impulse response. I
Sure.
don't even know what it means.
Yep.
Take me from
I'll
dummy
explain it
level.
from that. So
Okay.
you have your favorite amp. Let's say it's a Marshall something or other.
A
Right?
1969 Tremolo 20
Right. So from your speaker out, you go into the captor. Okay.
captor.
Which is that device right there. It's an attenuator. Okay.
An attenuator / DI kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. From the captor, you go back into your cab, so you still have your amp sound.
So it's kind of a bypass thing.
Well, you could do several different things. But
Okay.
I'm getting to what it allows
Okay,
you to do.
all right, I'll shut
so,
up.
So that way,
Please.
like you still have your amp, you still have the cabinet, you still have the sound on stage, all's good. But now you don't have to screw with some cheesy ass 57 mic or something like that on it. You can run a line out into the mixer, which is attached to or a 2 notes or anything like that. Anything that has impulse responses. I prefer to do it on like a Mac. But then you could run that into the mixer, which is attached to the Mac, like Macintosh, your Apple, your iMac.
Yeah, sir.
And that way you can have, let's say, like I like to do like 4 or 5, 4 probably impulse responses all at once. That way, like I can get some of the, like a couple different mics up front, one in back, room, like left and right room mics, like all this stuff. So
Okay.
it sounds so absolutely fantastic as long as the impulse responses are great.
Okay, so this sounds like it just has a name now.
Yes.
Like
It's
because
a
Derek
digital-
Derek Williams.
Yeah.
you know Derek, obviously.
Yeah,
Derek
he used to play for Jake Owen.
used to
Now he
play
does,
guitar. That's my gig.
That's My Gig, right?
Yeah, which is a great resource for musicians.
Yeah.
Basically, you just sign up for this website, and it's career placement. It's
career-
job placement for
job placement to play in
for real deal
big
professional
stages.
musicians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pros.
I mean, the guy from like the utility guy from Florida Georgia Line, like him or not, you know,
Right.
that's a pretty damn big gig. Just
Yeah.
got his gig from That's My Gig. But anyway,
Yeah.
when he was playing with Jake Owen, he told me, he was like, man, he said, anymore. He's like, I do have a mic on my cab. He said, but I have it in my left ear, and then in both ears I have this torpedoes thing.
Yeah,
and
the 2 notes. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah,
so
the
now it
2
has a
notes.
name.
Yeah, the 2 notes uses impulse response files to do that.
So who makes these? Just guys like you
Well,
and me? Or?
anyone can make them.
You're not smart.
Okay, so Do what?
You're not smart enough.
to make one of those.
So like literally we could put a couple microphones on a cab and create an impulse response file of what it sounds like. In fact, Pete Thorne did a really good video on this.
Okay.
Where he like mic'd up his
There's
amp.
another guy. I'm not saying he's the best, but there's probably no one better.
He's fantastic.
You know
too.
what I mean?
So he mic'd up his amp,
Stop it.
played that, made an impulse response of that, and then played the exact same thing through the impulse response. You couldn't tell the difference at all.
That's crazy.
So what it's basically doing is it's kind of making like a digital file of where, at that point,
Now-
here's what it sounds like when your mic's amped in this situation.
Is that what people are doing with the Axe effects?
It's using impulse responses
So like,
as
because
well.
I've heard people say like profiles, that word.
Impulse
Are
response.
profiles impulse responses?
Based on impulse response technology, yeah.
Okay. All right, that's starting to make sense.
So yeah. But you have like we can make an impulse response of running a guitar signal through that beer can and make a reverb. We can make that happen. It would suck, but we can make it happen.
I bet you I could find a use for it in a funk song.
There's all kinds of stuff, impulse responses like that, because you can do reverbs too. In fact, the best reverbs are impulse responses.
Really?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
See,
I'll have to show you this.
Because Sean Tubbs talks about that a lot. Like, because I'll hear him, but he's so nonchalant in it, and I feel so stupid. But he'll demo some gear, and he'll be like, and I have it doing this, that, and the other thing, and you can use whatever IR you want. But and I'm like, what?
Right. So
but
it's just a file. Okay, so imagine it this way. You're running the signal into your computer, and then you're using Logic Pro or GarageBand or whatever
Mm-hmm.
you want to use, and instead of adding reverb to the track, you're adding an impulse response
so
file.
how do you download these?
You can type in download impulse responses and find them for free.
And then how do you
The best ones I found are from rosinaudio.com,
ROSIN?
ROSEN.
Ian? Okay.
Celestion just came out with a bunch of them, which are freaking amazing. Really? Yeah,
Now, how
so-
do you? Are they kind
yeah.
of? So are they? This is
They're
how, like
112
VST plugins kind of thing. Like,
Yeah,
how do you?
It'd
them into
be
your
just like a
DAW?
VST plugin. Yeah.
Man, I'm
ju-
so behind the times.
Yeah,
man.
just be just like that. Yep. It's just like an effect you apply to the signal chain, except rather than it being reverb or delay, it's the sound of a guitar cabinet with these mics.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, this just. Yeah.
So that's what people mean when they're like, you can find one that you like. For instance, I know some people, like Sean was talking about, he has one he likes that he runs everything through because he likes the way that cabinet was mic'd or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
That's crazy, dude.
So I mean, it's just so amazing. These selection responses are so great. They'll have like 112, 212, 412, like open back, close back,
Off axis,
different types of mics. Yeah, like all these things. So you can get lost in the nerdery, which is what I generally do.
Lost in the nerdery.
Lost in the nerdery.
Where you just listen to the signal, like, okay, so this is what it sounds like with a 57 when it's here on the speaker cabinet. And plus, you have room mics too in
Right.
that same situation, and everything's like all phase corrected, so you don't have to worry about phase. Remember when we would
See,
mic
now-
amps, we used to fight.
my gosh,
mic being an inch away too much. And we're like, oh, now we got to correct for this.
See, I mean, it's probably completely different, but something I've been getting into big time right now is Superior Drummer. They came out with Superior Drummer 3. I'm still using Superior
I still need to
Drummer
buy
2.
that. I'm still on the Logic Drummer.
Oh, man, it is game changer. I mean, I could do a record with Superior Drummer 2, and you'd never know.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
I hear everyone say that's fantastic.
It's unreal. And I have electronic drums, so I can literally pick what kit I want and play
play
my
it?
own drums. Yeah.
Wow.
So and it's all real time.
That's great if you can play drums.
I actually have 2 pedals I want. I haven't been in
really.
pedal mood in a while. Yeah.
What you want? Although I did have a dream. I literally had it.
You notice how you get ready talking?
Oh yeah, this is
He totally
that's
cut
the
him.
last 10 years of our friendship. Actually, we've been longer than 10 years.
Go ahead.
10 years. No, go ahead. I don't want you to be thinking about, because see, if I start talking, you just be thinking about what you want, and you literally hear nothing I say.
What?
Exactly.
No, I had a dream. I had a dream last night. This is true story. True story. I had a dream last night, and it was one of those dreams that was so real that like when you wake up, you expect it to be there. And like I had a dream that like I walked into Guitar Center, and I went into Guitar Mart and I saw a gold, like it was almost gold leaf. You know what I mean? But it was a Wampler pedal, FT dual faux tape echo. And it had 3 switches, one for tap and then one for each faux tape echo. And I was like, I'll take it.
Well, you know what that would be? It's Faux Tape Echo Deluxe.
V2
Now with Cling Boost.
and 3-band EQ.
And 3-band EQ.
But seriously, I did have that dream. So I want that pedal. Come on, Brian. All right, go ahead, Max.
Yeah, go ahead and
sure?
talk.
Am I-
We'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. There's actually a couple pedals on one. Actually, not the plug for Brian, but the Doctor. I want one of those when they come out, so I'll probably get one of those.
Are they not out yet? It's out.
Yeah.
Is it out?
Yeah, get
Yeah.
one. Come
I'm
on.
behind
Where
the
you
times,
been?
man.
Money where your mouth
Oh
is,
my
cuz.
goodness.
Well,
yeah,
I need
that's
I need
been
to
out
get one.
for 7
Jason.
months, 8 months.
Jason, give me one. No, I'm joking.
Jason,
I'm
what?
gonna buy one. But the TC, I don't think TC's put this pedal out yet. It's called the Vibro Clone. It's basically a Leslie thing. But I got rid of my Hughes and Kettner Rotosphere, so I've been wanting another one.
That Rotosphere, though, sounds so good.
It was great.
It's just noisy, wasn't it?
It was a little noisy, yeah, but I mean they're so ginormous.
Yeah.
Um,
They're like that, literally
Right.
that big.
and then
Like the size of a pedal board.
Yeah.
Earthquaker Devices, they just put out the Westwood. I kind of want one of those.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems
I
pretty
still
cool.
want an Avalanche run. That probably came out like 10 years ago, but I don't know. I mean, I loved that pedal,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's all right.
I want it ethereal. I need to get one.
Yeah, they're right too.
It's all right. It's all right. That's right.
That's right.
But so,
Well, see, I feel bad about the Doctor now. I didn't know it came out already.
what a jerk, man. You know.
I'm not on. I don't do social media a whole lot anymore. I don't really follow that as much.
Yeah,
as
I literally
totally with
just
you.
had to explain to him what an Instagram story was.
And he calls me a freaking millennial.
You didn't know what a story was?
He didn't know what an
follow
Instagram
him, yeah.
story is.
I just thought you didn't see it.
No,
No,
he
I
didn't
just-
know.
I just
He
don't
thought that
play
just
them.
meant those people were active online.
So you've never done the Snapchat thing.
Oh no, yeah, no, I never done.
I don't do Snapchat.
But dude, because like my wife has Snapchat, and this is like makes like your face look like a dog. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life.
Well, I mean, you could do it.
Imagine being a single guy and showing up to a date with a chick you met on Snapchat, and she ain't got a dog nose, and you're like, and you really
You're
fell in love with that
disappointed.
dog nose.
You're
I'd be a
disappointed.
little
at that
like,
point.
where's those dog nose?
Like-
where's those cute big eyes?
Do you have a dog? And if so, can you bring it next time? And just not come?
Maybe just drop the dog version of you off.
Yeah.
Or think about it this way. We looked back at Ancestry.com, right? And we saw these cool looking sepia tone pictures of our old relatives. Think about 150 years from now, people were like, and that's my grandma. And it's going to look like she's sucking noodles. She's going to be like,
Duck face. You're making a duck face. Duck
have
face picture.
you seen the
She's
people
part
where they
German
Photoshop
Shepherd.
noodles into the duck faces? Oh, dude, it totally looks like they're sucking noodles.
What's wrong with them? Why does everyone look like they're eating
Yeah,
noodles?
why is everybody a dog? Ancestry.com is just going to be a bunch of basic girls freaking looking like dogs and eyelashes out to here.
Right.
The eyelashes aren't real.
No, they're not real. And neither are the
Man.
cat eyes, although Taylor Swift.
The internet
Don't get me
lies so
started
much.
on Taylor
No,
Swift.
Taylor. No.
You said Taylor.
No.
Taylor Swift.
I'm drunk, Max. That's why.
Kayla Swift. That's Taylor's sister. She's even hotter.
You guys are
So,
right.
gear that you want is just pedals, just 2 pedals?
Couple pedals. Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted a 2-rock. I just need to buy one. I haven't done it yet.
I think 2-Rock is not doing a whole lot anymore.
They're not. No.
You want the Studio
You might
Pro
want to jump on
22?
that quick.
Yeah, Studio Pro 22 or the
Brian might know a guy.
Pro 35.
I might know a guy
Oh, really?
in the 2-Rock.
Come on.
Hey, doesn't Morgan? That's just a Dumble thing, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you just ask Morgan to do it? Joe Morgan. Morgan Amps.
Oh,
From the
He's got a double.
Cincinnati Reds?
No,
The big red machine?
no, Morgan
Johnny
has.
Bench?
Morgan's got a, because I know Joe real well.
really?
He's got a double thing.
Oh, cool. I'll check it out. I've never heard it.
You've never heard of it?
I've never
I've heard
heard
of
of
Morgan
stumble.
amps.
Yeah.
I've never heard-
Okay.
Yeah, we did a thing with Sweetwater.
chair's
Renee
making my
that's
ass
right.
hurt.
Yeah. That's right.
Sweetwater.
I don't know. Maybe
He had a
you tell me.
blackface amp that was BA.
Yeah.
Joe?
Oh my God. He had a 50-watt blackface style amp that was just, oh my dad.
We heard that amp the same day we dropped Brian's amp on the ground in the rain.
The blackface. What is it? Hot Rod Deluxe.
I ride the like.
I love that scar. Every time I see that, it makes me laugh. Actually.
It hit so hard. Like,
We didn't tell
So
I felt
we
like
got-
sick
we got-
to my stomach.
We have to explain the story, so this is inside
All
story. Let's go ahead.
All right, so
I can't.
so there we were. So Sweetwater, like I don't know how it is now, but at least when Travis and I were doing it, I
same
was like,
way.
all right, so yeah, big tents, right? And like for this particular Sweetwater
Gear Fest.
it was so rainy. Like water's just like flooding in everywhere. So like
400 degrees.
yeah,
too.
and it was like super hot too. Like so when it wasn't raining, it was really muggy.
It was raining inside the tent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was-
remember the condensation.
Yeah, it was just
from the
pouring
heat,
in.
the humidity. Yeah.
That and like the actual rainwater's flooding in. Like the tent was like on below a hill, so like all the water's flooding in to this tent. So we had to put everything up off the ground, so nothing to get ruined. Well, it was like rainy and like the water's literally like rushing in. Travis and I are trying like, all right, dude, all right, you get the pedal board, I'll get the amp. And so like I got the pedal board, he starts raising the amp, and like it started slipping. So I went to grab it, and he thought I had it, and I didn't have it. And this freaking amp just went pow, and you hear it. It was like a 2x4 cracking on a cement road. It was, bam! We just both looked at each other like. So it's one of these things like we have
And
to tell Brian.
Wait. You're forgetting one aspect of the. Brian was in the shittiest mood.
Oh
I've ever
yeah,
seen
Brian
him
was
in.
like,
I was?
Oh my God!
about something unrelated.
I remember
something unrelated.
Yeah, something unrelated. But I remember you were in such a bad mood. You went into the back of the trailer on your phone and you started yelling at somebody on the phone.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, it wasn't related to us.
It wasn't related up yet, but no. So we were like, oh my God.
What we do, we have to tell him.
So we made a plan. We were like, we're gonna tell him, but we're gonna tell him tomorrow morning at breakfast.
I don't remember this.
So, yeah,
I remember the amp falling, but I don't remember.
We were so
being-
mad.
So what we
Because we were
did-
afraid. We were like, oh my God, Dad's mad.
So like at the end of the night, before he came back, we just put the cover back on the amp so you would have see it. And then later that night was a go-kart night. We just got him really drunk, and it was like, hey, by the way, we dropped your amp. We relicked it for you for free. He wasn't even
We
mad.
relicked it.
Yeah, he wasn't even mad. He was like, "Did you do it on purpose?" We're like, "No." He's like, "That's all right.
Max
happens.
Jeffrey's amplifier relicking service.
I'll drop
317.
I'll drop your amp for you too."
You bring the beer, I'll relic the amp.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was like a sickening crack, and we felt so bad. I
Well,
mean,
it was
like,
one of those things that was funny. 'cause
And we were right behind JHS, right? So
Yeah.
they like
Yeah.
opened the curtain like dumbass.
we ended up showing Josh, and I was like, "Josh, you can't tell anybody." He was like, "Okay."
I don't remember that. I don't remember, but
Oh
Yeah,
man,
but it
that's-
was so funny because it took you back to being a little kid. Like, I mean, every little kid. I'll never forget one time my sister threw a house party and somebody kicked a hole in the wall. And I remember that fear of, oh my gosh, it brought me back to that moment. And I was like,
oh my god, I better learn to do drywall real quick.
Yeah.
It was like Big Brother, Little Brother, because Travis was like, "You better not tell." I was like, "But we have to tell Dad." He's like, "You better not tell."
Why
not
would I have
till
to be
tomorrow."
Big Brother?
Well, because you're older. You say big, it's the metaphor. You're not really big. You're little. But yeah, that was our Relic and Ryan's amp story.
So I think we've covered
Zero,
what I've been
zero
doing.
gear topics.
Yeah, no, we talked about pedals he wanted,
No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
but
Stop there.
I'm still in the vintage kick. So I mean, as far as things I want, like I'm gonna buy an old Stratocaster. If anybody knows anyone selling an old Stratocaster, and when I mean selling, I mean like actually selling, not asking $12,000 for a refinished '66 Stratocaster. Sorry.
He's cheap, is what he's saying.
Yes. No,
You
I'm
see-
realistic. I got real money.
See, you guys are into hardware stuff. I'm still like we were talking about impulse responses earlier. I bet I've bought 500 to 1,000 impulse responses over the past few months.
Jeez.
Isn't that stupid?
No,
probably
it's not
Probably
stupid.
500. 1,000's way too many. Probably 500. Yeah,
Wow.
it's just ridiculous. It's an addiction.
That's cool though.
I mean,
I bought.
worse
I
addictions,
get
I
it because
suppose.
It's a file. It's a file. It's an electronic. It's a WAV file.
I get it because I'll spend $29 on a drum kit.
Yeah, it's the same thing
It's
as
the
like
same
Superior
thing.
Drummer. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I gotta have this kit or these.
I've probably been playing more drums than I have guitar lately. Believe it or
I'll
not.
spend $10 on a cheeseburger. I kind of want. I've drank a bunch of
Red
beer. I
Robin,
kinda want a cheeseburger.
yum. Down on the farm. But now I want a vintage Strat, because basically because the prices are getting so stupid.
Right.
They fell and now they're on their way back up, and it's like I better get on it now.
Right.
So,
Right.
whatever. But no, I want to know what you've been doing for the last 2 years of your life.
Last
Oh,
two,
Before
That's
I say
one thing
this,
we haven't been 2 episodes now. We haven't even
Yeah.
talked about what you guys have been doing.
right?
if you-
Which like
I
we
was
never left.
I went to
Airplanes.
Google myself, and if you
Yeah,
Google
private.
Travis Feaster, it'll say, "Why did Travis Feaster leave Wampler?
No way.
Yeah.
What does Travis Feaster do now?
Yeah.
Where did Travis Feaster go?" And it's just like, oh my God, I'm not dead, people.
And if you do that for me, it just says who? Question.
If you type it, it just says, "Shut up, Max."
If you type in the chubby kid from Wampler, it'd be like, oh yeah, he died. He died in a car accident. Nobody's
That's
heard
terrible.
from him in 2 years.
You're not a kid.
But yeah, no.
Are you
let's see.
saying when you type in Max, it autocorrects to Chubby Kid from Wampler? Is that what you're saying?
Shut up, mate.
Seriously though, what you been up to, man?
So man,
you used to go ahead.
I've just been pushing a broom out of college, and sometimes I'll see a hard math equation on a board that nobody can figure out, and I'm like, it just comes to me,
I think that's Goodwill Hunting.
Oh yeah, it is.
Wait. So it was one of your friends? Like, did you befriend an older guy with really hairy arms?
Brian. Brian's like, no, look at my hairy arms.
No, seriously.
Macarooni's eyebrows.
No, true story. Max was an international arms dealer.
Yeah, actually, I was. I worked in the firearms industry for a while. I don't think anybody can really saw the election going the way it did. Not to get political, but it wasn't a good time to be in a firearms industry. So I actually got out of that. A really weird sales position in Bloomington, where I live. It's basically an architectural supply firm. I became an executive sales manager for that company. So that's what I do now. I'm kind of still a sales gig, but for architectural supply. So we do like panels and doors. Definitely not as sexy as guitar pedals anymore. Like the most exciting thing I do now is go to door factories in like Iowa.
He's a wood gazer.
Yeah. I do a lot in hardwood.
Do you have to go on
Giggity.
all the Facebook forums to talk about doors and woods and
No,
doorknobs?
No, I actually have people for that now.
Bam!
True story. I got staff. It's a great job. It's one of those jobs. So I was like, oh, I saw it, and I was like, I'll apply for it. So I got an interview. They're like, write down what you want salary wise on a piece of paper. So I wrote down what I thought was a high number, so we can negotiate down. They looked at it and said, "Can you start Monday?" I was like,
Damn, I should have gone higher.
"Damn it! Should ask for more money."
One thing that I think is kind of cool, and
Always put whatever you're going to pay plus $10,000.
yeah, right. Yeah. Now you tell me. But the thing I think is cool. I'm a big hockey fan, and I like the Chicago Blackhawks, as does Max.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you guys, where the Blackhawks play is a stadium called the United Center, and
Yeah.
your company actually just did all the wood furnishing for the United Center. Right?
Yeah, the locker rooms we do. We did all the millwork for like Notre Dame's locker rooms. Well, we do all kinds of cool.
Let me ask you
stuff.
this.
That's a coincidence because I just played NHL on PS4 the other night.
You probably saw a digital version of what I do for a living.
Let me ask you this: Patrick Kane, you've seen his
Kaner.
you've seen his haircut.
Yep.
If he doesn't play hockey, does he get laid?
Yeah, well, see, I don't think it's a haircut. I think he just skates so fast that the hair on the front just falls off.
Maybe, I don't know.
It gets pushed.
He
to
could
the
play
back.
the hell out of some hockey.
He can, man.
Look, Brian had to leave.
Brian
left.
Brian doesn't know what to say. So, welcome to the Max and Travis show.
You know what's so funny is he's going after that last beer.
He really is.
It's not there anymore.
Nope,
Max
Travis.
has it.
Yes, sir. Hey, when you don't get invited back for a podcast for a couple years, you drink all Brian's beer, right? Brian's like, where the hell's the bear at? You know what?
I went out to get another beer
It
and
tastes so good.
there's no more. No wonder you guys having so much
Yeah,
fun.
Well, see, think about this. I've been gone for actually, I'll be gone 2 years next month, right?
Oh.
So like, I've only drank 3 beers over 2 years. You're making up pretty good compared to like Nam. Brian and I used to drink, like, at one point, Chasing Tone was so popular and with the country crowd, we would just walk into a bar in Nashville during Nam and somebody would be like, Chasing Tones, buy you a shot. And like Brian and I started the night, it was like, all right, we're only going to go for like 1 beer. And then like the end of the night, we've had like 20 drinks. We're riding on the back of a rickshaw. True
What's
story.
a rickshaw?
A rickshaw is like where you
Is
get
that like a Zamboni?
no, it's like a cart that somebody like bicycles or pulls, right?
Oh,
And like
that's right.
and I'm like, I'm making this guy earn his money. So like, it was like uphill.
That's right. Uphill in Nashville.
He just made us get out. He's like, you can keep your money. You can just walk the rest of the way. He's like sweating, about to have a heart attack. I'm getting drunk in the back of it. Like, it's the best $20 I've ever spent. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I was, that particular name, I was so hungover the next day. Charles Whitfield Guitars,
Whitliff.
comes up to me and goes, hey, are you on the drugs? So I'm just sweating like profusely. And Walrus Audio, God bless them, they had like this huge crate of like bottled water. I was like, hey, can I have one of those? They're like, yeah, help yourself. So I just grabbed like 10 waters, just took it back to drink, and they came back for like 10 more. They're like, we just, and I'm just walking away with like a whole case of water. Yeah, that was good times.
I remember Gear Fest. I jumped in one of those tubs of water.
Yes, you did.
The hot coffee spillage.
Yeah, some British guy spilled coffee all over my leg. Who drinks coffee in 110-degree weather?
British.
Actually, British usually drink tea.
That's right.
That was kind of a...
That's right. That's terrible. I don't know if that's true or not. But the dude's actually
It's a knee-jerk response now. That's right.
the coffee guy was actually pretty nice. Every Gear Fest, he'd always come up and like tell the same story, and I would laugh because it's funny. Because like when friends get hurt, it's funny afterwards, right?
It's pretty funny at the time too.
No, you were mad for like a year.
I'm still a little upset.
It's going to say...
You're still scolded. You can't feel anything on that left buttock.
No, it was outside of my leg, man.
He
my
has
ankle.
he has no feeling.
They had to do a skin graft. Now I grow pubic hair down there.
And this is what happens at the end of the night. Actually, I hope when Brian edits this, he just puts in that one part. Like somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, that's clickbait. That's awesome." And that's how I grew pubic down here. Stay tuned for the next Chasing Tone podcast, and you have to watch it. Right? I've been in Monroe County too long. The more I drink, the more I get a little bit of an accent. So that's what I've been up to the last 2 years. Now it's the end of the night. Brian, you can beep that out. It only took us 3.5 hours and a couple beers to get there, but by God, we're there.
We're there. So those are the
We
two
have
pedals
arrived.
Max would like to look at right now.
Yeah, so TC Electronics, if you're listening, Wampler, if you're listening.
You know something I miss
Doctor.
most about the podcast? The free T-shirts.
Man, yeah, I do.
He said, "Man, yeah."
You know what's funny? I'm wearing one. And what's really funny is I've gained a little weight since. That's not actually really funny. But yeah,
I'm wearing
I didn't
one
think
as
we'd be
well.
on video, so I was like, this is clean. I'm just going to wear it. And I wish I would have wore something
And-
a little more slimming.
Look, I'm going to say it. I am very, very thankful for all the T-shirts that I've received. But Port City and Lotus, people need to take notice of these shirts and up their game a little bit.
Port City shirts are pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that and the
I've
Lotus shirts.
worn mine out. It's like paper thin now.
I
'cause
know.
I've wear it every
They
3
need to
days.
step up their game. I mean, Nordstrom pickups, great T-shirt, great quality T-shirt.
Well, the selection is good.
Yeah, that's a good
Or
one,
Eminence,
too.
excuse me.
Eminence, that's a good. Yeah, I have an Eminence one as well.
My wife
But
took my Port City shirt. She wears it all the time.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
actually, once I got that Port City shirt, we changed all the shirts over to that brand.
Hashtag Tri-Blend,
I think it's next level.
Tri-blend.
In case you're
Next
just
level.
wondering, next level.
next level Tri-Blend.
Yeah, yeah.
I like a good T-shirt.
It's true.
All right, so wow. I
What
don't
about
have
you?
no ending for that one.
Yeah. And that's how Travis got pubic hair.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
This title is gonna be like I don't even know.
Impulse responses and such.
It just
Just
happens.
put and such after. And such.
Let's try that.
Impulses. Pulses.
Well, thanks for coming out and doing the podcast. Appreciate it.
Man, we
Yeah,
do it
dude,
anytime.
anytime.
Hopefully we can do it again.
Although only another 2 years.
Next
right?
time I'll have more beer that you can drink that was supposed to be mine, but that's fine.
Next
That's
time I'm
fine.
going to bring something a little more manly than Budweiser.
I told you, I said I have beer, but it's kind
Hipster.
of beer.
No, I've moved on to bourbon. I'm a professional now.
I found a new drink that I really like.
Peach drinks from Outback Steakhouse. I'm
Absolutely.
a real boy.
Jameson and ginger.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's a thing. I
Are
didn't know it
those
was
two
a
people,
thing.
or is that a drink?
Well, no, I got. I
Jameson the ginger.
yeah,
No offense, no offense, gingers. I won't hurt your feelings.
when you
There's
grow your beard,
gingers
your
out there.
beard's ginger.
It is a little ginger. It is. My mom's
Beard.
ginger. It's more just from lack of not shaving for 2 weeks.
But Jameson and ginger ale, it's pretty good.
So just get rid of
Not a
ginger
big
ale.
fan of
it's
the
a real
whiskey.
drink.
You don't taste it in the ginger ale.
If you drink enough of it, you're a fan of
You
everything.
don't taste it.
What's the point of drinking it if you don't taste it? Like, you got to taste it, right?
Oh,
I agree with
I
that.
love taste of it.
As Max used to always say, I don't like getting drunk. I just really like beer, and unfortunately, that's a byproduct.
It really is.
Kind of. What was that one joke? I don't do drugs, but man, cocaine smells fantastic.
Yeah. I used to do drugs. You still do drugs. I used to too. That's a Mitch Hedberg joke.
Yeah.
But,
All right. Well, thanks for coming out. We'll do this again, hopefully.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. All right. Thank you so much for listening to the Chasing Tone podcast. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who sends me all the emails and everything else. It means a lot to me. I'm glad you guys like it. If you have any comments or questions, you can always email me at podcast@wamplerpedals.com. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.